Hi, I'm your Southern Lesbian, Ashley Hydrick. So nice to see y'all again. We got some fun stuff for this month. Over and over again about, well, your Southern Lesbian. Where are these magical, mystical meetups of which you speak? Where do I find these lesbians? I've given y'all a little bit of hints over the history of this podcast, but we're going to dive deep, okay? The theme for this month of October is going to be where to find the lesbians. I've been thinking on this, I did some notes and consulted with Dr. Google, and she had some interesting things to say. So just going to dive into it, y'all, because I'm aware that not everyone is in a city like I am, and one even in a city as fabulous as London, because I have told y'all the dating here is good. The girls are nice that I'm meeting, and there's a lot of different events, the diversity of events that are offered up here. There's bar and nightclub nights that are lesbian centric. If you want to go to those, there are meetups that are specific to certain activities if you want to do those. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper because I feel like there's a lot of y'all that I'm hearing from that are telling me that you're in areas of the country or the world where you don't have access to stuff like this. Let's dive in. Do not give up hope. There is hope for you yet. Here we go. Y'all, I'm still coming down from I listen to a lot of music when I'm getting ready to come on and talk to y'all because I start getting excited. I really, really get excited to get on here and talk to y'all. In my brain, I'm still singing today Coldplay, and in the past, sometimes it's Madonna, old school Madonna. I hope y'all are having a great week. I hope you're excited about this month because I think there's a lot of opportunities to meet people. The holiGAYS are coming. I know we all want somebody to snuggle with. I do. But I want to tell y'all, I've been back in London for this summer, and I've really made an effort to get myself out there. Y'all have seen the videos. Been getting my butt on that train. I am an hour and a half outside of London right now, but I will get on that train or Uber or whatever I've got to do to get my butt into the city. Because again, you got to go to where the girls are, right? If you want to meet people. Okay, let's get into it. As I was trying to figure out how to sort of approach this thing, I was putting myself back into the South. Because y'all know, I grew up in the South, I live in the South part-time, and listen, there's some big cities in the South that make it easier. There's Atlanta, there's Charleston, there's Asheville. Okay, I'm out of big cities. Orlando, I know there's others, y'all, but anyway, for the purpose of what we're working, New Orleans, fine, I get it. Y'all know what I mean when I say it's a little challenging, or maybe some of those areas are more conservative than others, so maybe people aren't as willing and forthcoming to get out. So I find that you got to go to those places where there's strength in numbers. You got to go to the events that maybe you're like, Look, we all have those ideas in our head of what we think these events are going to be like. Some of y'all, and you've told me this, look at the guest list before you go and say, well, I don't see anybody on there that looks like my type. Ashley, I get it. I understand. I've been there. I've done that. I've done the same thing. I've cruised that little section to look and see if there's anybody. But the thing is, you cannot tell. You cannot tell by someone's photo. I'm sorry. You just can't. And I'm guilty of that. And also the other thing is, sometimes people show up to these events last minute, so the organizer will tell them they don't have to RSVP. Or sometimes, y'all, people will bring a friend. I find that we put a lot of blocks on ourselves when it comes to talking ourselves out of the things that we want. Got to be really careful about that. God knows I've done it for years, and I've done a lot of practicing to try to stop myself from those habits, because it'll keep you from happiness, y'all. And so we do have to sort of actively work on telling ourselves a positive story, right? Like, what's the best that could happen if I show up? Maybe you're not meeting the love of your life at every event you go to, but you're making new friends. And down the road, that leads you to meet somebody that's right for you. But you got to take those steps. You got to do it. Okay, so number one's not rocket science, y'all. It is simply attend LGBTQ events and Pride. There are Pride events all over the world. So if you don't have one right in your city, how far are you from a city that has one? I know that cities like Atlanta, New Orleans, Nashville, even places like Chapel Hill, North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, they all have Prides, y'all, and the Prides are different times of the year. So just ask Dr. Google. She's there to help you. Ask when Pride events are in these cities and just put them on your calendar, because if you put it on the calendar, you will actually probably find a way to do it. Book a little hotel room for the night if you need to. Grab a friend that might want to go with you, or go by yourself if you're feeling brave. I've been to so many of these Pride events by myself, and it was fun. I always end up meeting people, or even if I don't meet anybody, if I'm just feeling a little not as brave that day, I have fun and I see how many people there are in the community, and it just makes me feel like I'm not alone, and it makes me feel like there is some support out there, that I'm not sitting all by my little lonesome in my little corner of the world feeling these things. So I highly encourage you to do that. So far I've been to Pride several times in Los Angeles. So fun, so big. London, oh my God, London Pride I've only been to once, but it's freaking huge, y'all. Really cool. And I went to the Charleston, South Carolina, and that one is little. It's a little baby Pride. But it's still, like, I was shocked to see how many people came out and how many businesses, which was very cool to see, y'all, how many businesses, local businesses, wanted to be part of that parade and show their support. And I'm telling y'all, I physically got my butt up off the curb and went and hugged some of these people and thanked them for marching, because in cities like Charleston, where I feel like a lot of people think it's more liberal than it is, representation still really matters. So it was pretty awesome to see that. Number 2, join lesbian or LGBTQ meetups or start one. I've talked to y'all a lot about these meetups because I'm such a big fan of them now, because it's global, y'all. It's like anywhere you travel, you can ask Dr. Google if there's a lesbian meetup in insert city here, whatever city that might be, right? And I've done it everywhere I've traveled where I've felt like I want to find community. I've even had straight friends of mine say, yeah, it's so easy for you to meet people, Ashley. You know, the gay community, y'all just always have each other's backs and there's always an event. They're not wrong, y'all. They're not wrong. Some of y'all are still, I think, a little bit confused about it. So it's an app, and all you do, it's not one of those like swipe left or right on her kind of apps. It's literally just an app where you can type in things that you're interested in. You fill out a little profile about yourself and all the things you're interested in. And then it will make suggestions for you about, oh, well, there's this local meetup that also likes river rafting, that also likes, I don't know, what are you into? Painting with wine, soccer. You're lesbians, you probably like softball. I don't know, I'm just saying. Pottery, pickleball, kayaking, whatever you're into, try it. Just go on the meetups and look and see, because if there's something that you're passionate about, most likely if you go to those events where other people are also passionate about that same thing, you're going to have a little connection. You're going to form that bond with somebody, right? It's a really fun way to meet people. And I didn't even know I enjoyed kayaking, y'all, but I went. Turns out I liked it. Who knew? Sometimes you just got to put yourself in these situations, even if it's a little scary, because those opportunities, especially like kayaking, was really cool because you're paired with somebody in a boat. They can't go anywhere. You've got them in your grasp. And you find out, like it's a little bonding experience, and you find out what each other's into, and you kind of get to learn something together, and it's just, I can't recommend them enough, y'all. I think they're so fun, and I think they're so great. If you don't have a meetup group in your area, let me ask you, are you brave enough to start one? Do you know one other lesbian in the area? One, that's all it takes. I mean, you don't even have to have anybody around you if you're that brave. Sometimes I'm not. But, maybe it's 2 of y'all. Just, hey, we want to start this and we want to throw it out there and advertise it, put it on your social media channels. Try to put it out there in places where lesbians will see it. And see what happens. See who's interested. If you get any kind of feedback like, hey, yeah, I'd love to be a part of that. That sounds great. If you organize it, I'll come. Great. Oh, and I'll tell y'all, another great thing to throw out there to organize, I think, is hikes. Lesbians love to hike, y'all. They like the boots. They like their Subarus. Just saying. They like the clothes, right? You can wear your little carabiner if you got one. I'm a femme lesbian, y'all. I don't do the carabiner thing, but you know what you know what I mean. All right, so the other thing which could be good for y'all, and certainly I leaned on this for years, are the gay bars. There are a shit ton of, even if you don't have a lesbian bar near you, because those seem pretty far and few between these days, they are out there, they do exist, but is there even a gay bar in the area where you feel safe, that you can go just make friends, you know, talk to them, ask them where other people are gathering and meeting. I know that I was looking to move to Atlanta for a little while, so I started reaching out to, I got a gay friend there from a long time ago. I'm not even gonna tell y'all how long time ago, but that is the cool thing about the gay community, y'all. I will say that once you make a friend with someone in the gay community, most likely you're going to keep that bond. And if you reach out to them and say, hey, where do the lesbians meet in Atlanta? I'm doing a Google search and I'm coming up with a couple things, but they don't really seem right for me. He told me about a whole community, you know, half an hour north of there in the mountains that meets. I love the mountains. Lesbians love mountains, y'all. But I would have never known that. So I would say, while you're doing all this research, just stay curious, because things are going to come up for you out of the blue that you're not even like expecting to hear. And that's what's so cool. You get to discover things around your own community and your little circumference that you probably don't even know about. So stay curious, ask questions, put it out there. Okay, also on this topic, because I did throw in, I asked Dr. Google about lesbian bars in South Carolina and North Carolina, because I just don't think there are many, y'all. But she did tell me there were a couple in here. So I know there's one in Atlanta called My Sister's Room, because I went there 100 years ago and apparently it's still around. Because I wanted to hear about places that are a little bit more removed, like Spartanburg, South Carolina was one that I just threw in for fun. There's a place called Club South 29 in Spartanburg. I don't know, y'all. Anyway, the funny thing is, you know, I've had all this resistance to South Carolina because I feel like there's such a small community there. Anyway, I've felt it's been a little bit difficult in South Carolina, but there are some lesbian communities there, y'all. Charleston Lesbians are fantastic. They are a meetup group. Go on and look for the meetup group, Charleston Lesbians, if you're in South Carolina. They're great. Super sweet people. But I know not everybody's in South Carolina. Y'all are coming at me from all over the world, and I love it. It's so cool. All right, number 4. This should be a no-brainer for you big lesbians, but participate in sports. I am not as sporty a lesbian, but I will tell you there are some things that I really enjoy doing, like the pickleball, y'all. Who knew? I'm not any good at it, but it's really fun. So if you find people in your community that are doing that, show up, go find out. The lesbians love the soccer, or here in Europe and the UK, the football. It's a really cool thing for me to watch. I don't necessarily want to play, but I love watching anybody where people are talented and the competition is just fun and you can tell they're really in it. And softball, hiking, yoga, y'all. Yoga is not a sport, but yoga is another great way to connect with people that if you're more spiritual minded, if you don't want anything high impact, you want something just really chill and that doesn't sound like it's going to be stressful for you, go sit on a freaking mat and meet some people. Number 5. All right, y'all aren't going to want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. The dating apps and the dating sites. I have a big resistance to this one too, y'all, because I have a hard time telling if I have chemistry with someone just by looking at their picture. I've said this to y'all before. I'm sapiosexual. I'm demisexual. Y'all told me. I found out. Thank you. So I need to get to know you and I need you to stimulate me intellectually. We need to be able to go deep on subjects and have great conversation, or I don't really care what you look like. I mean, I do care. Y'all know. I mean, come on, mama has needs. I'm just saying, like, the dating apps are really hard for me, but a lot of my friends have done really well on them, so I know not everybody's like me. So y'all just give it a whirl. Don't lie about your age. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. Be authentic, because authenticity is absolutely what will attract your vibe and your tribe, right? Try it. I don't know. Maybe y'all tried some of them. There are so many apps out there right now. I don't even know how to tell y'all which ones, but I'll list some in the comments. I'll put this whole list and I'll put some links to things in the comments section. And please share this with your friends if you feel like there are people out there, not just you, but other lesbians that could use this, because this whole month we're going to be talking about this. I'm doing 3 episodes on this. We're going to talk about different ways to meet lesbians. So again, share this with your community, share this with your friends. It helps me tremendously when you do that. Also, it helps helps me tremendously when you like and follow and support the podcast. So that's my quick little pitch. Thank you. Number 6, y'all. Volunteering. Now, specifically, Dr. Google told me volunteer for LGBTQ organizations. That makes sense, right? You want to meet gay people, you go to where the gay people are. So the obvious ones that come up for me are GLAAD, because they have chapters everywhere. Gay and lesbian centers. There are gay and lesbian centers all over the place. I even did a random search today for some places that I thought, surely this state is not going to have an LGBTQ center like Montana or Arkansas. They do, y'all. They do. I will list the links below. So if y'all need to connect with these centers and ask them more questions, or you want to get involved and go volunteer, how fun. What a great way to meet people. And you're also giving back and you're putting out some good into the world. So win, 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 win is how I see it. And on that note, when you're looking for LGBTQ organizations or things that you want to maybe go volunteer at, again, this is where getting curious will go a long way. There are so many different platforms that you can look on. And I know some of us are of a certain age and we're like, well, those kids today and their TikTok. Well, hey, I'm telling y'all that you got to get over that. You've got to get over it, because like it or not, this is life in the new normal, and these are tools, these are resources that we can use. So get yourself familiar with them, play around with it. Listen, the first 20 times I opened TikTok, it annoyed the out of me because it just felt like sensory overload. It just felt like it was coming at me. I couldn't make it be quiet. You know what I mean? Like, at least Instagram, you can kind of choose, there's some you want to listen to it, okay, but then TikTok's just like me right now, trying to give y'all information. But seriously, like, it took me a while to just learn the dang platform and understand how to use it. So get curious, get on there, do searches on each of these platforms. Lesbians, enter whatever state, Tennessee, I don't know where you are. You might be here in the UK, you might be in different parts of Europe, but I'm just telling you, just getting curious and doing a little deep dive into some of these things goes a long way. Facebook groups. I know, y'all. So anyway, just get curious and see what's out there. All right, number 7, attend women-centric or queer activities. This is sort of similar to the last one or two that we talked about. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about women-centric, right? Because sometimes there aren't any gay events near you, or sometimes you just want to meet people who are into the same things that you're into, right? Pottery. You into pottery? Go take a class. I don't care if you already know how to pot. Maybe you can teach some things. What if you meet somebody? What if you've always wanted to learn how to, I don't know, drive a stick shift car just came to mind? Sometimes I get these little hits. Sometimes, is somebody out there sitting there thinking I've always wanted to learn how to drive a stick shift car? I don't know if there's a class for that. Anyway, pickleball, tennis lessons. I don't know. What do you want to learn? Art. Have you ever wanted to learn how to paint a certain way or draw? Or maybe you want to learn how to crochet a pot holder. I don't know. Find your people. That's all I'm saying. They're out there. Look for them. Go to Google. Go to Facebook groups. Go to Meetup groups. Just have a little nosy, as they say here in the UK. Number 8. Okay, and I really kind of like this one because I'm not a drinker anymore. Y'all know that. I don't drink. So visit LGBTQ friendly bookstores and coffee shops. Ooh. That one makes me very excited. Ooh, yeah, there are so many little places, right? And I know that different cities that I've been to, some of them are outrightly, they'll be in a gay area of town and it's very obvious that they exist, right? But Google that stuff too. Look for those things. Bookstores, y'all. Look for these bookstores. Like there's one in London, and this is pretty cool. Had I not Googled this bookstore, it's called Gay's the Word, and it's up in North London. It's kind of far from here. But I just got curious today when I was trying to put this list together for y'all, and I Googled them. And lo and behold, they have a website and they have all these activities on there. And did you know that every Wednesday night they offer a freaking lesbian night where they do like readings of, I don't know, poetry and lesbian reading. I don't know what it is, y'all, but the point is, it's every Wednesday night. The lesbians gather at that bookstore. How cool. Just because you don't drink, just because you're not feeling like sportsy your thing, or you're not as active, or you want something a little more mellow. I get it. You don't want to go to a bar. How cool is that? So be curious, search, look in your area. Just do a search. LGBTQ bookstore. Go a little wider, you know, and just see what's out there. Just see what's out there. Number 9. How many of y'all have ever asked your friends to set you up with somebody? Like really ask them. Don't tell me, oh, my friends know I'm single, because I'm going to tell you what. I hosted my single friends at pool parties, at a variety of things for a long damn time, and I was single. And I always thought, well, they know that I'm single, and they'll just put it out there. No, because you know what? They're in their own damn worlds, and they're thinking about their own stuff. So, yeah, I got to the point one day where I just sat down and emailed a couple of them. Hey, dear lesbian friends of mine, I'm single and I would like to meet a girl like XYZ. Now, I didn't meet anybody through that, but for the first time they went, oh, you know, I actually might know somebody, or I'm going to ask my friends if they know anybody. So I found in, again, just being bold enough to speak up for myself, just getting a little curious about it. You know, sometimes we don't like to admit that we need help meeting people, and I'm sorry, I don't want to be alone the rest of my life. I want a partner. So I'm so happy to be dating again, but it came through efforting at all these things, y'all. Have you ever heard of Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes? Maybe this is your year of yes. And I think you will be shocked and surprised if you turn back around at the end of, Ashley, I don't want to do a whole year. Listen to me. I think you'll be shocked at the end of your however long you give yourself, how many people you collect, how many new friends you have, that if you want to go out and do something, now you have people to call. They're like-minded. That you have people you can talk to about stuff that maybe you can't talk to, you know, your straight friends about. Give it a try, y'all. All right, and the last one for today, we're gonna do more next week, but the last one for today, join online lesbian groups. Sort of similar to some of the other ones we've talked about, but this one I'm going to get a little bit more specific with y'all about. So this one I'm talking about specifically searching for online groups, right? So Facebook groups. There are so many lesbian groups, and I'm going to give y'all an example. And again, I use South Carolina as a, you know, just a reference point because I know how hard it was growing up there, and I know how hard it was to find community. So I'm looking back at South Carolina. So when I did a little Dr. Google search, here's what she told me. There is a Facebook group called Just Lesbians of North Carolina and South Carolina. Look it up. Just Lesbians. Great. I mean, I would imagine that they plan stuff. How cool is that, right? There was another one called Just Single Lesbians of North Carolina and South Carolina. I didn't know that when I was there. Why didn't I know that? Maybe it's a group that's come up more recently. It's another good point, right? Keep looking, because maybe people are starting something, you know, a week after you've searched. You got to kind of keep on top of it. Now that group, by the way, if you're going to go search that, some of them are specific to, like, that one only wants cis lesbians. Okay, fine, whatever. You know, everybody's got to find their tribe, right? But just be specific. Look for what it is that you're after. There's another group called Down South Lesbians, and this one looks to be women of color. And this is they're all within, it looks like you have to be within a 75-mile radius of Atlanta. But how cool is that? If you're a woman of color and you're looking, there you go. Like, be specific. Look for these things. That is a great start, I think, for y'all. I've given y'all homework. I want you to tell me what you're doing. I want you to tell me if you're having success. I want you to tell me what things are working, what things aren't working. I'm here to help as best I can. I've done a lot of work on this stuff of getting brave enough to put myself out there, and so I'm just trying to share with y'all some things that I've done that work. Give it a shot. I'm rooting for y'all. I want to hear your success stories. Come back to me with success stories. All right, so y'all stay strong, and again, please give me a like and a follow if any of this resonates with you. Share it with your friends if you think it can help them. I thank you so much for all the support that y'all have given me. It really is fun to come together with you and to hear your comments and hear the things that you're doing in the world. I'm also on TikTok. There's a great little interactive community over there, and I do some silly stuff on there, y'all, just some short little silly videos to keep you entertained throughout the week. You're welcome. So follow me there too if you like. Anyway, wishing y'all the best week, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.